Thinking about packing your bags and chasing the Australian dream in 2025? It's a land of sun-soaked beaches, vibrant cities, and endless opportunity, or so they say. But what if the reality is a lot messier than the postcards? From sky-high rents to visa nightmares, the journey's not as smooth as you'd hope. Stick with me, because I'm spilling the brutally honest truth. Picture this. You've just landed in Sydney, buzzing with excitement, ready to start your new life. Then you check the rental listings and your heart sinks. Did you know it takes a decade of average income just to scrape together a 20% deposit? Sydney and Melbourne are among the priciest cities globally, with median home prices hovering around $1.2 million. Renters aren't off the hook either. Vacancy rates below 1%, fighting for cramped apartments at $600 a week. Some whisper the market's a bubble ready to burst, while experts argue for a soft landing with rates dropping by August 2025. Look at up-and-coming suburbs like Parramatta or Outer Brisbane where prices are less brutal. You found a place to live! Congrats! Now brace yourself for the grocery run. A loaf of bread? $4. A coffee? Try $5.50. Australia's cost of living in 2025 is no joke. Inflation's cooling, but it's still stubborn in areas like rent and insurance. Remember those promises of $275 cheaper power bills? Yeah, they didn't happen. Energy costs are up thanks to global chaos. A weekly shop for a family hits $200 and dining out, $50 for a casual meal for two. The trick? Budget like a pro. Shop at markets, cook at home, and hunt for deals on utilities. South Australia's killing it with 75% renewable energy, so you might save a bit on power there. Here's a wild stat. 83% of Australia's population growth comes from migration. That's a lot of people chasing the same dream. But getting a visa in 2025? It's like running a marathon in flip-flops. Skilled migration is the golden ticket. Think engineers, nurses, or IT pros. But the government's tightening the screws. Expect piles of paperwork, English tests, and a wait that feels like forever. Permanent residency can take 18 months. Costs start at $4,000 just for the application. Then there's the emotional roller coaster. Hope, stress, endless email checking. Start early, double-check your points for the skilled independent visa, and maybe hire a migration agent. Australia's unemployment rate is a dreamy 4.5%, but don't let that fool you. The job market in 2025 is a battlefield. Hot sectors like healthcare, tech, and renewable energy are hiring, but you'll need local connections and Aussie experience. Many newcomers land entry-level gigs first. Think retail or hospitality, while building networks. Salaries are decent, with averages around $90,000, but taxes and living costs eat into that fast. Some industries, like mining, are wobbling as China's demand for resources slows. Want to shine? Tailor your resume to Aussie standards and hit up networking events. Imagine moving to Sydney, only to find your new home flooded by a freak storm. Climate change is rewriting Australia's map. Ex-tropical cyclone Alfred battered Queensland and New South Wales, and experts warn more extreme weather is coming. Experts predict climate migration, with people fleeing hotspots like Sydney for cooler oases like Tasmania. But it's not all doom. South Australia's powering 75% of its grid with wind and solar, setting a green example. Perth's sunny but affordable. Melbourne's vibrant but pricey. Research flood and fire risks before signing that lease. Picking the right city is key when climate change is reshaping where it's safe to live. You step off the plane, expecting to blend right in. Then someone calls you a bogan, and you're Googling what it means. Australia's culture is a wild mix, laid back yet blunt. The failed Indigenous voice referendum stirred heated debates, and newcomers might feel caught in social crossfire. Aussies love their slang, pub chats, and Vegemite, but don't expect instant mateship. Join local clubs, learn the lingo, and embrace the Barbie lifestyle to fit in. Cultural integration takes time, patience, and a willingness to embrace the Australian way of life. You're almost settled, but then a $2,000 medical bill blindsides you. Australia's healthcare is world-class, but non-residents pay out of pocket. GP visits cost $80 a pop for non-residents. Get private health cover to avoid these surprises. Education's another hurdle. Public schools are solid, but international student fees can hit $15,000 a year. Don't forget moving logistics. Shipping a container from the US to Australia starts at $5,000. Plan ahead. Get private health cover, research school zones, and book movers early. Preparation is key to avoiding these costly surprises that can derail your Australian dream. Moving to Australia in 2025 is a bold leap. Stunning beaches, thriving cities, and a shot at a new life. But it's no walkabout. You'll battle insane housing costs, visa headaches, and a job market that doesn't hand out wins. Climate risks and cultural quirks add spice to the challenge, and one wrong step can cost you thousands. Yet millions still flock here, drawn by the promise of opportunity and a lifestyle like no other. Is the dream worth the grind, or is Australia's shine starting to fade? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button if this helped, and subscribe for more real talk on chasing dreams abroad. You've settled on a Melbourne suburb, dreaming of easy commutes and quiet weekends. But reality hits. Traffic crawls, trains are packed, and the laid-back lifestyle feels out of reach. Australia's cities are bursting in 2025. Infrastructure is lagging, and the promise of open spaces is colliding with rapid urban growth. Today, we'll pull back the curtain on what moving to Australia really means, beyond the postcard images. Suburbs once symbolized the Australian dream, a quarter-acre block, a Hills hoist in the backyard, and the promise of a bright future. It was a vision built on space, a strong sense of community, and relative affordability for young families starting out. But in places like Melton and other rapidly expanding areas, this dream is facing a harsh reality. Rapid growth means crumbling roads, struggling to cope with the increased traffic and wear and tear. Packed schools, bursting at the seams with more students than they were designed to accommodate. And endless construction, a constant reminder of the relentless pace of development. It's not just Melbourne feeling the pressure. Sydney, Brisbane, and Perth's outer rings are also experiencing similar challenges, are stretched thin, struggling to provide essential services to their growing populations. Infrastructure can't keep up with the demand, leading to longer commutes and overcrowded public transport, leaving new residents feeling isolated and disconnected from essential amenities and opportunities. The solution being proposed by many urban planners? High-density living, apartment towers strategically located near train stations, aiming to reduce reliance on cars. The creation of mini-cities where you rarely need a car, with everything within walking distance. This shift challenges the traditional house and yard ideal that has long been ingrained in the Australian psyche. For migrants, navigating this changing landscape means thinking strategically about where to settle. Consider smaller capitals, which may offer a better balance of affordability and lifestyle. Or explore regional hubs where infrastructure development is keeping pace with population growth. Look beyond the obvious choices and consider all the options available across this vast country. Research where you'll actually get the lifestyle and services you want, ensuring a fulfilling and sustainable future in Australia. Migration is a powerful engine, driving Australia's growth and shaping its future. It brings new skills, fresh perspectives, and a vibrant energy to our nation. However, this rapid growth also stirs debate and sometimes, unfortunately, fuels social tensions. It's easy for some to blame newcomers for the challenges we face, like housing shortages, increasingly crowded roads, and pressure on existing infrastructure. But pointing fingers at migrants is often a form of scapegoating, a simplistic answer to complex problems. The reality is that migrants fill critical jobs across various sectors, contributing significantly to our economy. They are the ones building the infrastructure that everyone relies on, from roads and bridges to hospitals and schools. The real story of migration is far more nuanced and complex than a simple us versus them narrative. In diverse suburbs like Woodley, we see how multiculturalism can truly thrive, creating vibrant and inclusive communities. From dazzling Diwali festivals to relaxed community barbecues where neighbors share food and stories, and even local footy matches, bringing everyone together in the park. For newcomers, the best approach to settling in and building connections is to actively get involved in community life. Join local clubs and associations, volunteer your time and skills, and make an effort to connect with your neighbors, building bridges and fostering understanding. It's also crucial to learn about the land's history, especially the rich and complex history of Australia's First Nations people. Understanding this context is key to building a shared future. Building real, meaningful connections is the most effective antidote to division and prejudice. Australia's diversity is not a weakness, but its greatest strength, a source of innovation, creativity, and resilience. So, lean in, embrace the richness of our multicultural society, and be an active part of building a more inclusive and harmonious Australia for all. Australia's healthcare system, Medicare, sounds fantastic on paper, offering comprehensive medical coverage to citizens and permanent residents. However, most newcomers arriving on temporary visas, including work and student visas, aren't eligible for Medicare benefits. This can be a rude awakening for many. Consequently, every doctor visit, each prescription you need to fill, or an unexpected trip to the emergency room can quickly escalate and cost you hundreds or even thousands of dollars out of pocket. Therefore, private health insurance isn't just optional. It's absolutely essential for financial protection and peace of mind, and is very often a mandatory requirement stipulated in your visa conditions to ensure you can cover any medical expenses incurred during your stay. When selecting a policy, don't be tempted to just buy the cheapest one you find. Many so-called junk plans offer minimal coverage and can leave you exposed to potentially huge and crippling medical bills. Just imagine needing an unexpected surgery and then facing a staggering $50,000 medical bill that you're personally responsible for. Sadly, it happens more often than you might think. Therefore, budget for quality health insurance coverage as a must-have moving expense, factoring it into your overall cost of living. Take the time to carefully compare different policies, thoroughly check the waiting periods for different treatments and services, and meticulously read through your visa conditions carefully to understand your obligations. Investing a little time in research now can save you from potential financial disaster and provide you with peace of mind later. Moving to Australia means joining a country in the middle of an identity rethink. The old image, sunburnt, laid back, loyal to the Commonwealth, is changing fast with new cultures and voices. Debates about becoming a republic and the failed Indigenous voice referendum show a nation wrestling with its past and future. For newcomers, it can be confusing, but engaging with these conversations is the best way to connect. Be curious, visit museums, learn the history, and listen to the debates. Understanding Australia's evolving identity helps you find your place in its future. So, is moving to Australia in 2025 still worth it? It depends on your expectations. If you want a simple paradise, you might be disappointed. But if you're adaptable and proactive, the opportunities are huge. Australia is dynamic and demanding, but also beautiful, safe, and full of potential. The challenges are signs of transformation, not decline. Weigh the pros and cons for yourself. The dream hasn't vanished, it's just changed. Are you ready to embrace the new version? That's Australia in 2025, full of opportunity and challenge. What's your take? City energy or country calm? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you've moved abroad, share your best healthcare tips below. Your advice could help someone new. Thanks for watching.